Don't hurt yourself.
And congratulations to our Illinois Secretary of State, Alexi Giannoulias, joins us now. I understand baby number 4 is in the house.
Baby number 4 is in the house, so if I sound a little tired, that's why.
Wow.
All right. Give us the stats. What do we know?
She's about 5 weeks old. She's a little sweetheart, girl number 4. She's the best kid ever. Everyone's healthy, and we're very blessed.
Well, good for you.
That's so cool.
Well, that's a special Mother's Day. What'd you do for your wife?
We had a great brunch. We went for a long walk because it was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Babies napped. We had a nice dinner. It was. I know it sounds cheesy, but it was like a perfect day. Perfect day for me, at least.
Are you running a contest? I hear a phone in the background.
Is that a landline?
Is that seventh caller wins in the Secretary of State's office? Listen, at least you got a low-profile job with no pressure, so that's good.
That's right.
All right, so listen, Real ID, this came up this weekend. The Real ID deadline, is it ever going to be finalized and be for real?
Well, just to let everyone know, to start with, we are 1 year out from the federal Real ID compliance deadline. And yes, TSA, federal government has let us know that this will be the last deadline. I know that this deadline is viewed with skepticism, rightfully so. It keeps on getting pushed back. 16 years have gone by since the federal government first announced this initiative, but it's time for people to get their Real ID. We don't want to have people dealing with issues come a year from now, not being able to get on planes, et cetera.
Would a passport suffice?
Yes, you can still use a passport, but again, we encourage folks to get their Real ID so that there are no issues. A lot of people don't have them. A lot of people don't want to, and a lot of people don't think about bringing their passport when they go and hop on a domestic flight.
Yep.
So you will not be able to board a domestic flight without a passport or a Real ID.
And when you get the Real ID, Alexi, I'm sure you would encourage everybody to go online and bring the proper documentation, because when I went, and by the way, there was no line when I went and did it, so thank you for that. Everything's moving along quickly and promptly, but there were people in line who didn't bring anything or just brought one form of ID. There are clearly certain things you can and cannot bring to verify your identity.
Yes, that great point. So thank you for saying that the lines weren't there. We have worked tirelessly to implement our Skip the Line program. We do not want people to wait in line at the DMV. We are trying to change the entire culture. But yes, you have to bring documentation. The federal government requires a decent amount of documentation. That's not us. That's on them. But please check out our website, and you need a proof of identity, proof of Social Security number, 2 forms of proof of your residency, verification of your signature. So it's a lot, but when you get it done, you're good. You're good for life. So check out ilsos.gov. We've tried to make it as easy as possible. realid.ilsos.gov. We have an interactive checklist to make sure that everyone has everything they need before visiting.
Yeah, and the ilsos.gov website looks great. Mm-hmm. It's easy to navigate. It's 1,000% improvement. I had to get rid of my dot matrix printer because it no longer syncs with it. But you have, one of the things you campaigned on is said, look, we're going to get into the 21st century, whether we like it or not here. Mm-hmm. So talk about making appointments. Who needs them? How do you get them? And what do we need them for? So
you will need an appointment for Real ID to make an appointment and go to a facility. I'm proud of that for the first time ever. Not only do we have this interactive checklist, we're also getting Real IDs done at our express facilities. So we're trying to make this as easy as possible. And as far as the website overall, we have a completely revamped website. We now offer it in 130 languages. It is part of our overall modernization plan. You may have seen a couple weeks ago, we announced for the first time ever, we've introduced an electronic notary system. We're looking at mobile driver's license. We've worked really hard to implement our Skip the Line program. We've added almost all services within the office online. So we're doing everything we can to modernize the entire office.
But are there services that are appointment only?
Yes. Some, for example, you have to take your vision test at the facility. Driver's tests have to be done at the facility. But I will tell you, we've been working really hard to talk about our stay-at-home program. Almost 50% of the people who come to a facility do not have to come. They can do everything online, from getting their vehicle stickers through a QR code, through just renewing online, through the mail. So we're really trying to make sure people don't even have to visit a facility. For example, I haven't, I went to get my Real ID, but if you're a safe driver, you shouldn't have to go for, 12 years.
See, that's awesome.
What's the cost of a Real ID?
Real ID is the exact same as a license or a regular ID,
$30, yeah. And again, it was quick, it was fast. Alexi, you mentioned the mobile driver's licenses. I know you've been completely modernizing the office. How close are we in Illinois to having the mobile driver's licenses?
Not as it's not going to happen anytime very soon.
Okay.
We just have to pass legislation and then the technology. But we're working really hard on the underlying infrastructure to make it possible, and that's completely changing an antiquated and dangerous IT system. Our IT system is prone to cyber attacks. We've worked really hard to secure that first, get the infrastructure, and then work on things that I'm excited about. For example, next month we're going to have, for the first time ever, electronic car titles. Right now, if Steve sells me his vehicle, it could take me up to a month and a half to get a title. With our new system, people can have their title within an hour.
That's great.
We're also going to be announcing something that I'm very excited about in the next, hopefully, month, maybe sooner. We're going to have these kiosks around the state of Illinois. They're essentially like ATM machines where you can use Secretary of State Services, get a vehicle sticker, get your license. The technology is really incredible, and we're finally trying to catch up here in the Secretary of State's office to what's happening across the country. So there's a lot of really exciting things, but all of that is secondary to making life easier for those who have to go, and making sure as few people as possible have to even visit a facility.
Yeah, and the key is, if you don't understand what you're looking at technically, ask a 7-year-old near you, or somebody by you. Ask your kid, ask your grandkid, or use one of the numbers. For instance, if you click on Senior Services on the official ilsos.gov website, how about this? There is a specific senior-only call center where you call, and that number is dedicated to you as a senior. And it'll take you through it step by step. And there are senior-only DMV facilities as well.
Yeah, so I'm very proud of that. For those who don't want to make an appointment, who don't want to use the technology, and change is hard for a lot of people. We completely get it. We've opened 4 senior centers in the Chicagoland area for folks who don't have to make an appointment. We also have the facility downtown and in Chinatown. We opened a couple weeks ago for the first time ever a facility in Chinatown where people don't have to make an appointment. So we want to make sure people have options, but we highly, highly encourage and implore folks to go online, see if they even need an appointment, sign up for a text notification system, and if they need to, make an appointment. But most people, again, don't even need to go to a facility.
Yeah, I was going to say, just again, hammering that home, Alexi, that it's great to go and not have to wait in the line, which is really good.
I ran my entire campaign on eliminating the time tax that people use just to access government services. And, no one cares whether you're a Democrat or Republican. Just make my life easier and let me focus on the stuff that's important, like my day-to-day life, my career, my family, and that's why we've been so hard at work, and that's why also I am concerned about this Real ID. What we don't want to have on May 7th of next year is all our facilities being overwhelmed, people not being able to get their Real IDs, or they show up to an airport having no idea what's going on and literally not being able to board a flight. That is going to be a challenge for us. It's going to be a challenge for TSA. So you have a year, folks. Please get your Real ID.
Yeah.
Before I let you go, organ donation, lifegoeson.com remains the specific site for it. But if I was a previous organ donor, am I still an organ donor, or do I need to re-register?
You do not need to re-register.
All right. So it should just be indicative on your license, yes?
Yes.
And if it's not there, then make sure you are re-registered to make sure you're on, so that your people know. I have 2 organs that are still good.
Well, if I can put a quick plug in there, this is a program that I'm very proud of. We're literally saving lives.
Yep.
We have over 6 million people that are organ donors. I'm proud of that. But we have 400 people in Illinois alone that die each year waiting for an organ.
Yeah,
400 people.
And it doesn't have to be that way.
It does not have to be that way. Please, please be an organ tissue donor.
Congrats on a new baby.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Get some sleep.
You're always welcome here. Keep up the good work.
I might bring the baby in so you guys can get a taste.
All right.
And so you can get 10 minutes off. And yes, we do diapers.
We'll babysit.
All right, man. Thank you. It
Have
is
a beautiful week. Thank you, guys.
You
Thanks,
too.
Alexi.
Alexi Giannoulias, father of 4.